Many times when we establish businesses, we're not really sure of the type of accounts that we need to run our businesses successfully. So, I'm going to be giving you a few accounts that you should have. It's typically a good idea to have when running a business, resulting in you having a business that's actually flowing and having good cash flow. Okay, my name is Mel. This is Team Credit and Finance. This is the first time you're joining me. Welcome. We talk about all things finance and we'll talk about leveling up our money. So, the first account that I think every legitimate business needs to have is a business checking account. Now, I always talk about, not mixing funds. I always talk about having a separate account for that entity. Because when you're doing your business transactions, you want to ensure that, whatever's coming in is separated from your personal account. So, for example, setting up a business checking account will allow you to spend in the business, do transactions of business, and basically keep a record of how you are paying your bills with the business checking account, with your business account. So, it is believed that every business should have a separate checking account, preferably a business checking account. You should not be using your personal checking account to pay your business bills or your business finances. All right. Now, another account that, every business owner or business should have is, a secured business credit card. Now, let's talk about a secured business credit card. Many times when we start businesses, it's kind of hard for us to get business credit right away. So, in order for us to establish business credit, we could also start off with something called the secured credit card, the secured business credit card. And the secured business credit card is like any other secured card in your personal credit. The only difference is that with the secured card, they're using what you put up, whatever money you put down, they're using it as collateral just in case you default on the business credit card. But getting a business credit card, preferably a secured one, is a great way to start to build business credit. And it is advisable that everyone that starts a new business should have some type of credit card. If it's a point where because you're a new business that you can't get a regular business credit card, then you could opt for a secured card. And now with the secured card, what it is, you'd put some money up. They would open up a line for you, and you could draw or use that money whenever you need it. But remember, you're the one that funds it, with your own collateral, your own cash. And it's also good to have because you're essentially building business credit with your own money. So in the long run, you could eventually apply for business credit without having to put up any collateral or putting up any money. All right, the next account that a lot, businesses try to have is a business savings account. Now, business savings accounts are especially wonderful if someone is in the game of real estate or the business of real estate. And what I mean by that is that if you have a business savings account and you've been taking aside or setting aside a certain amount of money for savings when you're trying to qualify for that investor's mortgage or trying to buy something with in real estate, they'll see that you've been saving towards a goal. They'll see the consistency of you putting that money away. So this is why it's essential to have a business, a savings account. Business savings account goes wonderfully in saving money towards a business, and it shows responsibility, and it also shows consistency in putting something away. So that's the business savings account. Now, I know I just briefly mentioned about getting a business, credit card, and I said we should use a secured card. Now, let's say that you've had your business established for a while and you still wanted to get other cards. This is the time after using the secured card. The other account that you try to get is just a regular business credit card. And a regular business credit card goes well because this is where you don't have to put up any collateral. All you have to do is just apply with your EIN number, showing, transactions, showing how your business is being ran, all of that to ensure that you're able to secure that business credit card. The greatest thing is that you don't have to put up any collateral. And once you're able to get one, business credit card, non-secured, you get a regular one. It's going to be much easier for you to qualify for credit, business credit rather, and other funding products. So that is an account that that every business needs to have. They need to have a regular business credit card, and the business credit card would allow for you to buy the supplies and the things that you need. Another thing that you need when you have a business is you need to essentially have a business line of credit. So let's talk about a business line of credit. So a business line of credit is basically where, just like with any line of credit, you have it and you could use it and you could take a draw from it. In other words, you could withdraw money from it. Once you withdraw, you pay that money back with whatever time they give you. You're able to put that money back into your line of credit. And that's how lines of credit work. So you're basically drawing off the money that you have within that line to use, to make your purchases or to spend. Greatest thing is that when you pay it back, it'll go right back to your line of credit. Now, some lines of credit, they might start with a specific amount, but as you're using the line of credit and you're paying it back consistently, you're able to basically grow your line of credit. So, for example, let's say you started off with $1,000, and I'm just throwing a number out there. You started with $1,000 line of credit. You used it, you paid it back quickly. You didn't accrue any late charges or any lates were on it. Now the lender sees that, okay, that you've been responsibly using this line of credit. They're going to increase your limit from 1,000. Before you know it, you might have a 10,000 line of credit, or depending on what you initially qualified for. Because as I said before, in previous videos, that lenders like to know, especially when you're starting out new to get business credit, that you have something called a PG, personal guarantee. And all the personal guarantee does is just tell the lender that should there be a default or should there be any problems, that you are guaranteed, the borrower for the business credit or the business funding, you are guaranteed to basically pay their loan back. In other words, they're not going to lose if you personally guarantee. It's going to fall on you. So those are just some of the things that you need or you should have when you have your own business, okay, in terms of finance and funding. So with the business line of credit, in addition to that, the business line of credit can be used to pay for anything that's in your business. All right. If you need to buy supplies, if you need to make payroll, whatever it is. Hence, I'm also going to throw another one out there. I know I mentioned that you should have the business checking account. I mentioned that you could start with a secured business credit card if you haven't been able to establish business credit or you cannot get a business credit card initially. I mentioned that you should have the business savings account, which shows consistency in saving. And I mentioned the business credit card itself. This one is basically unsecured. And now the next one is the business line of credit. Now, let's quickly jump into another line that people should definitely have when they have a business. And this should be able to line up being able to get funded, like getting a loan if you need it. Okay? Sometimes costs and things arise in a business and you are not able to come up with the costs, or maybe, you're not meeting as much on that business. If you're able to secure a loan or, any type of lending product towards your business, you're able to do a lot more. So a business loan is also a great way for you to, get supplies or get funding for your company. And funding can be used for many things. A lot of people use funding for payroll other than just for supplies. They use funding for payroll. You just want to ensure that you have that funding and you're able to get it. And all of these things, fall hand in hand with you establishing credibility with the lender. Okay? How do you establish credibility? From the moment you open that business and you decide that you're going to have a business bank account and you didn't commingle your funds and you separated all your funds. This basically shows the lender that you are serious, that you are definitely serious about, showing transactions. You're serious about growing the business, and it shows that you're responsible. You're being a responsible business owner. I can't stress enough that business owners should not commingle their funds. Business owners should not be mixing personal credit with business credit. In other words, if you have a personal checking account, and as tempting as it might be, it is not a good idea for you to be making purchases or buying things from your personal checking account for your business. Separate the two. When you separate the two, this way, later when you eventually file your taxes or you make any claims towards a business, you have a long-standing track record showing your transactions, showing exactly what you are doing in the business. That is exactly how we need to separate our funds. We don't need to commingle anything. And I stress it so much. And people might say, listen, Mel, I didn't have a business checking account. It takes but maybe 20 minutes, if that much, at the bank, maybe half an hour to open a business checking account. All you have to do is just research and find out exactly where you can open it. Great Starter, our greatest, America's biggest bank, Bank of America, has their business checking account. Wells Fargo. I can almost guarantee that all and every institution allow you to have a business checking account. But just like with any product, you have to do your research. You have to do your research and see if this product works, if it's going to be one that you can definitely, work with in your business. A lot of these business checking accounts or these accounts, they have different stipulations. You have to ensure that you can keep up with whatever they're offering. They're going to tell you that you can only do a certain amount of transactions a month, depending on the size of your business and how much people you have working for you or working with you and so forth. You have to pick the one that you think are going to give you the most transactions, the optimal number of transactions. That's how it goes with, with having business credit. Again, my name is Mel. This is Team You Finance. If this is the first time you're joining me on this channel, we talk about leveling up. We talk about all things finance. We talk about credit, regular credit, business credit. We talk about housing. We talk about saving. We motivate. We talk about, getting a step further in life. So again, this is a channel that's right now in this video, we're focusing on building business credit, and we're focusing on different accounts that we need and should have if we want to show a lender, a potential lender in the future that we're serious and that we really want funding. All right, because with everything, I always say there needs to be a track record. It needs to show exactly what your business is doing, what transactions your business is making, how far is your business going each month, how much money is coming in and out, how much revenue are you generating. Once you can explain those things, or you can show those things, you have like a good track record in terms of your business, it makes it much easier for you to get the funding that you need. So, it's not, getting funding is not something that happens overnight. And if we can establish those accounts, like the business bank account, we can show that we have a little savings, for our business. We can show that we have, a credit card for our business, whether it be secured or unsecured. Or we could also show that we're able to obtain, a line of credit. When we want to get bigger things, such as getting a loan for our business, maybe to do an expansion, we already have consistency. The key word here for today is consistency. We want to ensure that everything is consistently being documented and it's showing exactly what is happening in that business. A lot of people don't realize that with business, everything, as they say, documentation beats communication. When you go apply for a certain loan product, especially in your business, first thing that lender is going to ask you, lender is going to say, okay, let me have your business bank statement. They want to see on your business bank statement that you've been making transactions in the business. Okay? Now, someone might say, listen, hey, I use my personal checking sometimes. We definitely don't want to do that. We just want to have an account where we're separated and we're not commingling it, and we're able to, separate our purchases. That's exactly what we need to do. Now, again, if you're unsure or stuck about where to open some of these accounts, I always mention our best friend, Google. Google, whatever you put in, even in the day of AI, whatever you put into the search engine, it'll definitely tell you exactly where you can get specific things to, ensure that you're applying for the accounts that your business needs. All right. I also touched on getting the Uline accounts and getting the Granger accounts, the Net 30 accounts. And again, these are accounts along with having your business checking account, having your business credit card, whether secured or unsecured, your business savings account. There is nothing wrong with, getting another line of credit or getting some type of account that could allow you to grow and expand your business. The goal here when we have a business is that we want to ensure that we have enough funding or we have enough money to let the business thrive, to let the business grow. If you are not able to secure funding initially, you can also contact, organizations such as the SBA that can help you with getting a business loan. And again, there's different types of business loans that you could get. But for the sake of this video, we just want to stick to some of the accounts that we need or should try to set up, to show consistency that we are a legitimate and a serious business. Once you can establish those things, it makes it much easier for your lenders to qualify you to get business credit. It's easier for them to qualify you to get a business credit card. Okay? Getting a business credit card is not the same thing as going out there and getting a regular credit card. And while we are applying to get these type of accounts, such as, specifically the business credit card or the funding or even just the business credit. We have to be vigilant, and we have to look and realize, if and when things are legitimate. A lot of people are trying to get business credit, and so sometimes a lot of people fall victim to people that, want to take advantage of them trying to get the business credit. I always tell people, as long as you do your research, as long as you check out what the product is like, what they're offering to you, because a lot of people are fraudulent. And I will give you a quick story time. Dabbling in the line of credit and even business credit, I met a lady I was speaking with, and she said, I tried really hard to get business credit, but every time when I tried to get business credit, the people that I was speaking to, they were telling me that I needed to put up money. In other words, she said I needed to put up collateral to get business credit. And I said to her, I said, honestly, with everything in life, you have to spend some type of money. But if somebody's legitimately showing you how to get business credit or what to get for business credit, you don't need to be putting any money up. Okay? Just like, for example, if you go and you apply for your business checking account, you don't need to literally pay the bank anything. All you're doing is maybe they'll say, okay, you know what? To legitimize and open the account, maybe you need to put $100 in the account, maybe you need to put $50 in the account, just to show, that you're serious. And again, you know, as much as we rely on our banks, a bank is also a business. It's a financial business. Banks are in the business of making money just the way you are in the business of making money. So, it's the same thing, right? These accounts that we have just shows that we are definitely just trying to, generate income, and we're trying to get our businesses to thrive. We can definitely get our businesses to thrive once we secure these accounts that we have. The one that I find to be the most pivotal in being able to secure business credit is when you have that business bank account. Because when you have that business bank account, basically allows you to add up and show your transactions. Okay? It shows every single thing that's been coming in this business, every single thing that's been going out. You are basically keeping a record. That is one of the biggest secrets to getting business credit. Getting business credit is not determined by, paying someone or paying these fraudulent places. You can get business credit by simply opening your business bank account, showing your transaction history, and also showing consistency in your business. Whenever lenders want to give you money, whether it's for business credit, whether it's for a line of credit, or just a business loan itself, they want to ensure that you have that consistency. And this information that I'm giving and I'm saying, it might sound so cliche, it might sound so repetitive and redundant, but if this is so cliche and redundant, why are so many people struggling to get the business credit that they need? Because people just don't know. I would tell anybody that's starting a new business, please ensure that you set your business up properly. You set your business up with your proper business address. You set your business up with your phone number. You set your business up with your business bank account. And as I suggested, you could also get a business savings account. Whenever the business starts to make money, what you do is just transfer over a little money instead of to have the money transferred over. And again, you can also get a secured line. You can get a secured credit. You could get like a secured line where whatever you put up as collateral, use it back. You show consistency. See, the secured line of credit or the secured business credit card, it's very much related to the net 30 accounts. The net 30 accounts, they give you exactly 30 days to pay those accounts once you use them. And again, the products that you take on the net 30 accounts, it's a good way to secure that you're going to make payment. And whenever you make your payment, all of those things are reported to the three major bureaus, specifically and starting with the Dun & Bradstreet. All those things are sent. So once you understand how to channel business credit, once you understand that everything is a process and it's a step, you just need one good business credit card in reality. You need one, because the one business credit card that you get, that is going to be a gateway into getting other business credit cards and other forms of funding. So again, if you can't get that natural business card, what you should do is just get a secured business credit card. Get something in your business's name, even if you have to fund it. I tell everybody, when you start a business, please ensure that you have some type of money put away that you could use to work in the business. It's like, I'm not saying you can't start a business without having a lot of money, but in order for you to make money, you got to spend money. That's how business works. That's how life works. All right. So with that said, if you are opening, your business, or you have a business, try to get these accounts that I mentioned. The only thing that it'll make things flow a little bit. As I said, I'm going to list them again, and I have the list here. Try to get your business checking account. If you can, try to get you a business credit card, whether secured or unsecured. If you can't get secured, then start. If you can't get unsecured, start with a secured card. Try to get your little business savings account. Try to get you a business line of credit. And when I mention line of credit, they don't have to be big lines of credit. I'm not talking about a 10,000 or 20 or even 100,000. If you could even get a line of credit for $500, it's something to start, because it's some other money that you have to spend within the business to take care of small things or things that arise on the whim that you don't not even really share of. All you really need to do is just ensure that you have some type of money there, some type of funding to buy the things that you need to buy for the business. With that said, people, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to hear from you. Other than, setting up your business checking account, do you happen to have a business credit card? Okay, and if you have a business credit card, is your business credit card secured or unsecured? Okay, were you able to get a line of a line of credit? Are you able to get any type of funding? In other words, what is that you've been able to secure, or what is it you've been able to get together, since the time that you open your business? What have you done and what have you worked on? Okay? With that said, I thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.